Hello.
Betty Boot Sunday.
How's everybody doing? Is he dead yet?
I don't know. He had to run to his dentist today from the golf course.
To the dentist?
Yeah, he also didn't want people filming him on the golf course, so he didn't want people filming him cheating. Hey, Braxy, I heard you barking. What you got in your mouth?
She's got a toy. Oh, what's that? What's that, Beebs? What's that?
You need to get her a Trump doll toy that she can.
I know that she can, like. The thing is, she doesn't destroy her toys, so.
She's gentle with them.
Yeah. She's very gentle with her toys.
Rover's over here with some toy in a box, so she's climbing against the side of the box and making noise.
Yeah.
Rudy's in the hospital. Rudy,
so is he getting a dental exam too? They gotta go give him a rectal exam because that's where his head's at. You can hear Braxy over there with the squeakies. Poor thing.
Go,
Hey,
Barry. Go, Barry. Our temperatures dropped. We've been getting rain so much. My heat's been kicking on like crazy. I'm like, okay, when is spring? My tulips are blooming, but when is spring?
Yeah. Ay. It's been normal over here. She's just picking up toys and running around all over the house and then screaming at people, and she doesn't know what she's doing with her life. Oh well. I got her these. I should have had her on those a long time ago, but I got her these like little doggy vitamins for hips and joints. You know, because she's a very large breed. They need that sort of stuff for hips and joints, and she loves them. They're like little heart-shaped treats. She gets 3 a day because of her weight. And then tomorrow she's going to the cleaner because she's stinky and smelly. So, yeah.
Oh, I have to give Innocent Potato in the chat a shout out from last Sunday. You remember we read on what would Trump's last earthly lie be? Well, Innocent Potato, I'm so sorry I didn't catch your comment till we were in the after show where I would have pinned it. She said, it'll say on his tombstone, here lies Trump, so even in death he'll keep lying.
Oh, you guys, Jennie and I were talking before the show about King Charles gifting Trump that bell. And that entire speech about the Congress being a check on power, and Jennie was telling me how everybody got up and was applauding King Charles, and I'm like, that's rich, you know, because they'll applaud a speech, but then when they're given the opportunity to actually act on it and check this man, they won't. They just let him do whatever he wants. I was telling Jennie that bell that he gifted him, you know, the Brits are petty. The Brits are petty as fuck.
And dry humor.
As fuck. Okay, and you got to be a little cheeky to understand what they're saying, because they can insult you in the most polite way possible. And unless you're smart, you're not going to get it. Well, we all know Trump is a freaking dumbass, you know? Well, the bell that King Charles gifted Trump that says Trump 1944, well, the bell was from 1946 on the Trump, the HMS Trump. That submarine failed every single mission. Okay, so the submarine was an absolute failure. On top of For those of you that don't know, go on the Google machine right now and Google what does bellend mean to the British.
It's
Bellend, Bellend, a bellend.
I give you a hint.
It means it's a vulgar British term for calling somebody a dickhead, an idiot, a moron. He insulted him to his face with a trophy. And the dumbass ate it up.
Basically called him a little mushroom.
Mm-hmm. He insulted him to his face, and the guy is so stupid that, see right here, bellend or bell end is a common vulgar British slang term for the glans penis. As an insult, it refers to a person, usually a man, who is acting stupidly, contemptibly, or annoyingly. It is roughly synonymous with dickhead or idiot and is considered quite rude. Okay, so
it's interesting because a lot of people were giving King Charles grief, saying you shouldn't go, before he came over. I'm glad he did, because he basically called Trump a dickhead and told Congress
a failure
to check his powers.
And a failure. He gifted him the bell to the one submarine that sunk and failed every mission. And then politely called him a dickhead to his face. But Trump is too stupid. He just saw gold and was like, oh, look, I got gold. You guys.
Oh, Mary Huddleston said in the UK, the slang Trump means fart. So he's a dickhead fart.
Well, I had heard somewhere, Jennie, that even his real name wasn't Trump. He changed it. It was like Grump.
It's Drump, D-R-U-M-P-F.
Which sounds like, I don't think it's like, to me, when I hear Drump, I think moron, like idiot. Like that would be like a slang for a moron or an idiot. And he changed it to Trump. Yeah. So there was that.
For entertainment purposes only, YouTube.
So yeah, if you want, Google what bellend means to the British, and then go watch the video of King Charles, and you'll get a good laugh. So what you guys got going on? Anything?
Well, if you'd like a reading with Jen Lynn Tarot, I have openings in May. Go to jenlynntarot.com, 2 N's in Jen, 2 N's in Lynn, and watch your spam folder for confirmation on your appointment. It usually ends up in your spam folder.
What about you, Johnny? What do you have on your shirt? Somebody in the chat was complimenting your shirt, but I can't read it.
Sarcastic comment loading. Please wait.
Mm-hmm. Nothing, just staring in the rock.
Staring at your rock? What type of rock do you have that you're staring at?
Tiger's Eye. This is the one we got when we went to Leaf for the 30th.
Oh, they moved again.
Yeah,
they moved again.
Oh, Lord.
And I haven't been to the new store. I haven't, because you know how dangerous it is. You walk in that store and poof, $15,000 later, you're like, what the hell happened?
Hopefully
and then you
not
look in your trunk and you have all the rocks and all the shit in there. I love that store. Love it. So, anything else, Johnny? Like classes or anything? Or
no?
Johnny did a grand tableau on Trump last week and an extra live, which I caught later.
I missed both of them.
That popped up in his tableau. He was going to declare some sort of victory in Iran, which he just, not victory, but ceasefire. So that's already popping up in there.
Mm-hmm. I had heard that he declared the end of the war.
Yeah.
And Iran's over there like, really? Because we didn't get the memo. I mean, it's like he governs via Truth Social, whatever. I can't. So I have nothing going on at all. So,
This
for those of you asking, I don't feel like being on camera, so I'm not on camera.
You know, sometimes we like to wear jammies and or not
Like,
put
right-
makeup on. Like
You
I won't go on camera unless I got a little bit of makeup on because I look like washed out ghost.
You should see me. I washed my hair yesterday. I haven't fixed it, so it looks like a rat's nest on top of my head and a claw clip. No bra, no makeup. I was like, I don't feel like it. I'm not doing it. So
You don't have to.
I don't have to, and I don't have to be on camera all the time. So,
Period.
So anyways,
I have to have a little blush and lipstick on to go on camera because I'm so pale. The Irish in me comes out on camera. Gotta have a little bit of color.
ay. So
Got rid of my lipstick.
you got rid of your lipstick?
And it was a bit much.
Ay.
Well, if it worked, it made your lips feel good. That's all that counts.
Well, I was chasing flavors like fat people do, and that's why I bought it in the first place. I'm like, ooh, passion fruit or whatever it was called. And I'm like, yeah, no, it was something wine, something. I don't even drink wine. That should have been my first guess not to get it, but whatever. That was pretty for a day.
Johnny's birthday's coming up this month.
Don't buy me no lipstick.
You guys buy him a whole bunch of lipstick.
Uranus just moved into Gemini, so expect the unexpected from Johnny.
I'll go live. I'll pop up live some point.
Are you going to bake a cake and do a disaster like I did that one year?
No, I don't think so. There's 3 bakeries down the street, and I think they do it better than I do. So that's why you work, so you can go pay people to do things you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Lucky Girl and I are still laughing about the Becca trying to bake a cake video.
Oh my God, that was a disaster. I don't know what I was thinking. And I was in such a mood for red velvet cake yesterday. And I was like, I'm not about to go to the store and buy all this stuff and make it. Like, I just didn't feel like it. So I didn't. But the way I wanted red velvet cake yesterday was fierce. But it's my favorite type of cake, red velvet. But anyways, I guess that's enough chit chat. We've been bullshitting for like 13 minutes. Can we please start off with our weekly check-in? Where is Barry? Barry, where are you?
He's right here.
Barry, God damn it, you have one job.
Get up here, Barry.
Where is Barry the blood clot?
Because he rushed to the dentist. I want to see what he rushed to the dentist for. It's like, yeah. The guy's wears false teeth, so what the hell was he rushing to the dentist for?
Where is Barry?
Oh, if you haven't seen, there's a guy that keeps filming that lives near the White House. He keeps filming Marine One helicopter daily going from the White House to, what's the hospital that Trump goes to?
Walter Reed. Walter Reed.
Keeps flying daily. Like he said, it used to be like once a week. Now it's like daily. He keeps filming every time Marine One helicopter goes to Walter Reed.
Barry, dude, come on. So where is Barry?
Yeah, it wasn't a wisdom tooth. Kitty kisses. He has no wisdom and no teeth.
Nope. Because as King Charles so eloquently showed us, he's a fucking dumbass. He's a dickhead. You're gonna love this one, Johnny. I hope you're excited. I hope you're as excited as me. Get your voodoo doll out and get those pins and needles ready.
Barry's looking for his way to the heart.
Stab him, Johnny. Stab him.
He's working on it. He's trying to get to the heart.
Is this his GPS? Should we show him where to go? So,
Barry's just as dumb as Trump, man.
This is a blockage for me, so that would be Barry. A blockage or he's on the move aggressively now, so the end is near.
You're not going to believe this. Crossroads, heart, and man. This would be veins and arteries, heart, and then him. So he's like in the arteries and the veins around the heart. Get him, Barry. Get him. Get him, Barry.
I don't know if you saw him in the pictures. He's way stooped over now. This
Oh,
man
really?
Stand up, like he's not wearing that girdle he used to wear. He's
Now,
way
is he?
with the big belly hanging over, but he like really slouched, like an ape looking.
Now, is that because he's got a full load in his diapers, or is that because?
No, I think it's
As disgusting as that sounds, like
his posture is just awful. And like when he sits in a chair and you can see the diaper in the back, he sits, slumped over and stuff with the belly hanging over.
thank you, SW. Well, every time he does a White House press briefing or whatever, he's like knocked out of sleep now. Every single time.
Barry's on the mood. It may affect Trump's speech. So you may notice him slurring his words and crap.
I get the heart.
You got the heart? Come on,
Yes.
Barry. Come on. Dude, I'm just waiting for the day that we all wake up to the big, beautiful obituary. I mean,
I used to get Barry would go to the brain. Now I'm getting the heart. So maybe that's a shorter distance for him to travel.
well, there's no brain, Jen.
You,
It's
Chris-
all mush. It's all mush. It's like mashed potatoes up there,
Eggplant.
So speaking of people going back to the mud, Rudy Giuliani, the people in the chat are saying is in the hospital in critical condition, but stable. Is he going to make it?
Is there another blood clot? Is there another Barry?
I'm sure we're all going to burn in hell for this, but I don't care because these people are horrible people. So I'm just going to ask, is Rudy Giuliani going to die this year?
I mean, what we didn't do is abuse children, so I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
You're going to arrest a man over seashells, but you won't hold any pedophiles to account. For entertainment purposes only, YouTube. Funny what we have to say as if that's entertainment. Yeah, Rudy's been an alcoholic for years. Martini lunches. He still owes millions on his lawsuit, the women one in Georgia against him.
Yeah. It's just
They're running tests, blood work.
like it's not that hard to not be a terrible person. It really isn't. It's like these people just try their damnedest to out asshole each other, and that's the part I don't understand.
He's got stomach intestinal tract issues too, heart issues, stomach intestinal tract. Probably also prostate issues. I don't get him crossing yet. He's really sick though. They're going to prop him up on some drugs.
Yeah, that's what good health care will do for you. I get the Two of Swords, the Star, the Eight of Cups, the King of Cups, and the Strength. He is in poor condition, but following doctor's orders, he could at least leave the hospital. I think, though, some things are a bit touch and go. With the Two of Swords, he is going to have some issues where there's something else that he may have a blockage to, or difficulty standing or move. Like, he's going to have complications once he actually, if he actually gets to leave the hospital, because the Star is healing, but then it comes with the Eight of Cups, and so he's going to have some issues going forward. But I think he'll be back in the hospital in a couple months still.
Well, that's unfortunate. I asked if he's going to die this year. No. I mean, stop trying to sugarcoat it. Just ask. You know? You know, anytime these people have a bad day, that's good news for me. You know, so it's Tree, which would be his health. The Fox, something that is undetected or needs some sort of a specialist. House. Comfortable. So he's not at 100%, but he's going to be comfortable, if that makes sense. He might have some sort of a healthcare worker working out of his home to help take care of him, but I get that. I hope Johnny's reading his right. He ends up back in the hospital, pushing up daisies, but you know.
Can you imagine being a healthcare worker for him? All I keep picturing is that image where he's grabbing himself.
Yeah, when Borat was filming that movie,
yeah,
and he was like, and they had a hidden camera, and he was trying to pull out his.
You know what? On what he thought was an underage girl.
Oh yeah. So, Aaron Parnas on TikTok. I swear to God, every day, breaking news. It's like, stop. Let me go back to watching my coloring videos and my people hiking on trails and people cooking stuff. Oh, Johnny, I saw this video on these hamburgers. I have to show it to you in the after show. They look freaking amazing. But so he was reporting that Mike Johnson is facing revolt in the House from Republicans, that they are extremely unhappy with his leadership, extremely unhappy on how he's playing people off each other. I think he said that the Republicans think he's doing a worse job than McCarthy did. Just all sorts of stuff, and that there is growing uncertainty within the Republican caucus that they'll vote him in again as Speaker.
I mean, he's been doing a better job than Kevin running shield for Trump and the pedophiles. So.
And Aaron Parnas also reported that they're discussing about jettisoning Mike Johnson the way they did Kevin McCarthy, a vote to vacate. Remember that when they did that to Kevin McCarthy? They're talking about the same thing for Mike Johnson, according to Aaron Parnas. So will the Republicans vote to vacate the chair?
I'm going to ask before the midterms.
Yeah, before the midterms.
Will they vote to vacate the chair? Lindsey Graham wants them to raise to vote on funding $400 million towards Trump's ballroom. It's like, what happened to all his donations for it?
The bribes, not donations, the bribes.
Why should we, the taxpayers, have to pay for his ballroom?
until the next assassination attempt when he wants something new. I want my own in-house McDonald's. Look, they tried to kill me at the mess deck. You have to build me a McDonald's in here with my own Diet Coke dispenser in my office where I sleep.
I'm surprised he doesn't have that as much as he likes it.
Johnie, listen, I am not a fancy person in the slightest. Johnie and Jennie know this better than anybody. But I would never dream in my whole almost 48 years on this planet to host an entire Olympic team or baseball team or football team or basketball or whatever, a series of pro athletes and feed them trash McDonald's. Like sometimes I'll eat McDonald's because it's a guilty pleasure. The hell with it. I want to have a Big Mac or I want chicken nuggets. But to feed professional athletes that crap like a buffet?
Event.
Oh my God.
My favorite meme last week was 8647 written out in Big Macs.
Yep. Yep.
They're talking about it. They're looking at other options for the leadership. I think what they're afraid of is that a Democrat would get it because their margins are so slim now. And they also got the one guy that's dying of brain cancer, right?
Well, and a bunch of other Republicans are not running for office. They're jumping ship like we saw in the first term.
So they're worried about someone stealing the leadership position from the other party. And even though there's major problems, I'm getting they hang on to him for right now. He's got bigger issues later and the victory on getting him out. But I think that's going to be after the elections.
I get the Ace of Pentacles, the Strength, and the Nine of Wands. So I think that for now, there's the opportunity is there. But he hangs on with the Strength, but they are still on his back, though. The Nine of Wands, they plan to revisit this or to see how the midterms shape out. But they're on his back. I think even if worst case scenario, they keep a majority or get a better majority, they're still going to be after him. Because this doesn't turn into a happy card afterwards. The 9 goes to the 10. So he's still going to be burdened by those around him.
As far as vacating the chair, no. That vote or that choice is blocked and delayed. Afterwards, after that delay has been overcome, then yes, he's not going to be speaker. So I'm thinking after midterms, they're going to jettison Johnson because this is a choice and option. So they may be talking about it and growing frustrated with him stonewalling and causing all these problems for the party overall because he's just the errand boy for Trump. But the problem is, well, who do we get? Rewind it back to Kevin McCarthy. Remember that whole mess where they couldn't figure out who to put in as speaker after they ousted Kevin McCarthy?
Yeah, what was it, 15 votes or something?
15 votes for who was there, the Jim Jordan guy, and so it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. So that choice to oust him right now is delayed. It comes after the election. Here's the election, a delay, and then there's success. So there's that.
Can we ask why they stood and applauded when King Charles said you need to do checks and balances on your leadership?
I mean,
like,
why are you standing up? Why are you standing up and applauding that for the cameras? But then every chance you get, you had ICE kill civilians in broad daylight, point blank. Nothing we can do. Let's fund them some more. Oh, you're stealing all this money. Oh, you want tariffs. Oh, do you see what I'm saying? It's performative, but
trying to start fake impeachment proceedings against Biden and all that kind of stuff when Biden was president. It's like, wait, do you really support checks and balances? You haven't shown us one check and balance you've done.
Nope.
Why did they stand and applaud that? because they believe it to be true, even though they're not doing it.
Listen, I'm old enough to remember or to notice that the Constitution only matters when they're not in power. When they're in power, it's just suggestions.
Nixon was ousted because Republicans were going to vote to impeach him.
Jen, Republicans haven't voted to impeach their own since Nixon. Regardless of the crimes Reagan committed, that's okay. Regardless of the crimes Big Bush committed, that's okay. Regardless of the crimes Little Bush committed, that's okay. Trump incited a fucking insurrection and they couldn't even convict him in the Senate. You know?
Why did they stand and applaud?
Someone, I missed the name, someone in the chat said they clapped because they're trained SEALs. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't applaud Biden in his State of the Unions. They're nervous. I get, they know there's a change in the government coming after the elections. So they know they're going to lose their power. So they want to be able to do checks and balances on Democrats, basically. It was a way of offering the loving cup, trying to look like, but they just look foolish. They're underhanded, but they do see this change coming and that their strength is waning. So it might be a ploy, like a way for them to try to steal power back by checks and balances on Democrats. Yeah, these assholes.
Mm-hmm.
What you getting, Johnny?
I don't know. I get someone dies because they're drunk.
Someone dies because they're drunk?
Yes.
Watch it be Pete Henderson holding a press conference at his makeup station in the Pentagon. He drops dead.
Cash Patel or Keg's breath?
I didn't get an answer to the question. I got someone perishes because of influence. I don't know if it's intoxication, but it's an influence of some kind.
I get that there is a woman who's a mother and was small that was part of the administration or the caucus that has become problematic and vicious and could be seen as someone that has been betraying and they're afraid of a loss. So I don't know
MTG.
If it's MTG or the dog killer or whatever, but it's an administration full of corruption and they see the trouble they're heading towards and they see the loss coming. See that? The loss is coming. It's like you can see where you're headed, I
got news for him. There's also going to be lawsuits in about 2.5, 3 years.
It's just so that Mills lady dropped out of the Senate race in Maine. So it's Grand Plattner against Susan Collins. I'm going to say this so everybody knows where I stand. I do not trust Chuck Schumer as far as I can throw that speckled face bastard. I was talking to Stephanie about this the other day. I said, Janet Mills dropped out and they're citing because of finances. And I told Stephanie, I said, I bet you, I was like, I am willing to put my head on the chopping block that Chuck Schumer would work with Republicans to sabotage Grand Plattner to keep him out of office and keep Susan Collins there because he doesn't want a progressive in the House. And that's something I can totally see Chuck Schumer doing, especially someone that is brazenly, unapologetically, loud and proud to be saying that the Senate is corrupt and that we are owned by AIPAC. Chuck Schumer doesn't like that, you know? So can we see, is Chuck Schumer going to try to sabotage Graham Plattner?
He's endorsed him already?
Yeah, he endorsed him with the side of his mouth. Because if there's one thing I've learned about Chuck Schumer for as long as I've been alive and paying attention to politics, that man cannot be trusted. He says one thing, and when he thinks you're not looking, he does another.
He definitely doesn't like him. So endorsing him because he's the only Democrat still in the running.
I get that in private or in public, he is the perfect fit. The Six of Wands and the Star with the Hierophant for the government. He is the one to celebrate. That's your celebration. That is your center of attention. And the Hierophant. And then where money is concerned, there is the Page of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles. So withholding some sort of money, keeping it to yourself. And then there's the Seven of Swords, which is a scheme, and the Moon, which is a plot. So there is like the separation of money or withholding of donors or something like that. So sabotaging, I think, I mean, Seven of Swords is Seven of Swords. That would be a sabotage. But I would say more so working against as far as like money and donors and influence is concerned.
I agree with you, Johnny. He'll burden him because he's already cast judgment on him here in the past. He'll burden him and probably withhold money investing in him, turn his back on him. I think the guy's going to win anyway, so I don't think it'll work. But he's gonna give him the crumbs, so to speak. He's not going to give him a lot, not a lot of attention.
I get that. Given the chance, he would take a risk and flip to the other party. Chance, a risk, party, flip. So, can we ask if Graham Plattner will win the election for senator in Maine?
Yes, but the results may be a little bit delayed in coming in.
Yes, purple allegoria. Yeah, Nixon left before they could impeach him because he knew it was coming. He knew it was coming.
They had enough votes.
He resigned before he could have that on his record.
That's another yes. But there's hidden Russian influence going on in that election, by the way. So maybe some Russian money coming in for Susan Collins. Susan Collins, shaky voice.
I'm sure she's very concerned.
Crystal ball. I get a yes. King of Swords, Four of Wands. Four of Wands will be celebration of some kind there. But he has a lot of issue as far as support and money goes. He may be in debt by the time this is all over, or his campaign will be. But I do get possibly yes, though.
I get yes. There's where he lives, the state, success, and someone new. I mean, Susan Collins hasn't stepped foot in Maine in 2 decades, or however long she's been in the Senate. She doesn't care, you know? So I see a lot of people in the chat, and it was in the community questions too. If Graham Plattner is going to end up being another John Fetterman. Now, what's that guy's name that used to be on MSNBC? Mehdi Hassan. Mehdi Hassan is no longer on MSNBC, but he does independent journalism, kind of like Don Lemon does now.
Yeah, he's got a podcast.
He interviewed Graham Plattner and brought up the same concern. Rightfully so. And a lot of people in the chat and in the community post shared the same reservations. Everybody thought Fetterman was a straight shooter. He gets in there and completely does a 180. Same thing happened.
180.
Same thing happened with that lady from Arizona. What was her name? The one that ran as a progressive, but then as soon as she got there, she became fairly conservative. What's the blonde-haired lady from Arizona? She was in the Senate. Selma, yeah. And, you know, so yes, I understand. So, and especially now that there has been, not on mainstream media, but independent journalism has been covering quite frequently how the Republican playbook is to run people that are
faking it,
acting as progressives, and then when they get in, nope, psych, you know, and then there's no way to recall them, you know. So will Fetterman switch when he gets elected?
Wait. Weren't we asking first about the guy in Maine if he was gonna switch?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you said Fetterman.
Oh, I meant Graham Plattner. Is Graham Plattner going to switch when he's elected?
I mean, Fetterman never switched parties, so he's still in the meetings with the Democrats, which pisses me off. I'm like, just tell him to go register as a Republican.
Another reason why Chuck Schumer can't be fucking trusted. Mitch McConnell has done more while not in the majority than Chuck Schumer has ever dreamt of doing with the majority.
Yep, I'm getting all these aces. They're yes cards, you know. So he offers hope, but then he manipulates. There's an undercurrent with him. So watch the details of what he does, because he'll start kind of switching and be more constricting, you know, not a liberal, be more constricting of people. So yes, he will probably vote Republican more so than Democrat.
He will be driven by money. So, sad as it is to say, it's not like he would be the only Democrat to vote but his pocket instead of his conscience. So he'd be like the rest of them. I get the moon and the two of cups. So there is something around the deals that he would make or the agreements that he would make reaching across the aisle type of thing with the two of cups that center around money. 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. That's my Dem and my Republican card. So would I call him a Fetterman? I guess so. Because if you're not you, then you're him, basically. Because again, I get the Seven of Swords and the Moon. So plots and schemes and carrying on. And so
he's bright.
I'd still think that he would be better in than not. Because this is not, I don't get the devil to where he is a completely two-faced person. I get he goes where his money goes. So he acts like the rest of them.
Which is, it's extremely strange because he got the endorsement of Bernie Sanders. And I love that man. That's like, he doesn't know me from Joe Schmo on the corner of the street by the 7-Eleven. But that's my grumpy grandpa. Okay.
Cinnamon did too, because they said the right thing.
And you can rewind that tape back to the early 1850s, and Bernie Sanders' message has not wavered at all. That man has been straight shooter from the beginning. I get that there's gifts or bribes of large sums of money, and then there's suspicions. I hope I'm wrong, because another way to interpret this would mean that he's happy to be in a position of power at work so that he would have the power to make things happen, you know. And to say that he would go where the money is again goes against what he's campaigned on, because that man has taken absolutely zero corporate money. You know, zero. It's all been small dollar donations and everything. So it would be very disheartening and heartbreaking if he does get in there and then surprise, you know. So let's see. A lot of questions here about, is he dead yet? No, unfortunately. So let's see. Here's a good one. What's the name of the head guy of the DNC? What's his name? He just did a whole entire interview on a podcast, and he would not give a straight answer on why they won't release the autopsy.
Is it Ken Martin?
Would not give a straight answer as to why he won't release the autopsy. And the podcaster kept pressing him. He's like, well, if it just put it out so that we know. You could ease all this questioning and distrust if you were just honest with voters. And he kept pussyfooting around the issue.
As well as letting them know, watch out for what Musk does next time.
Mm-hmm. So, why won't Ken Martin? What's the real reason Ken Martin won't release the autopsy? It's not an autopsy of a person. It was the Democratic National Committee had an autopsy of what they did wrong after Kamala Harris lost the election. And he will not release it.
Again, it's not up to him. He was basically instructed not to.
But he's the head of the DNC.
Mm-hmm. That don't mean nothing.
And you got to remember too, the DNC is not a governmental body. It's a corporation, really.
Mm-hmm. It's a piggy bank.
Yep.
Well, yeah, because there were legal actions taken against all these people that are in the White House now from the last election that were trying to rig it. He's trying to smooth things out. So he's blocking it because he doesn't want this White House going after them and saying, okay, you flipped it. You guys rigged elections, So he doesn't want to sound like the Republicans. And they're trying to get voters from both sides of the aisle. So something later will change. I do think it'll come out eventually. He's just hanging on to it for now. So maybe once they take the House and the Senate, they'll release it before the 2028 election, when they got people in there that can fix the issues and the gerrymandering and all that.
I strongly doubt that. Why won't they release it? I get that there's something abroad. It's foreign.
Foreign influence.
Foreign manipulation, foreign work. The man, which I guess is the DNC guy, and a chance to gossip or a chance to talk. This is self-interest here, working out of self-interest. So with this foreign manipulation and foreign influence here, it could go a whole bunch of ways. You can say this is Russia. You can easily turn around and say this is Bibi Netanyahu. Because the vast majority of Democrats were opposed to the genocide. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's something to do with foreign. And we all saw it happening in broad daylight. Israel did have their hands in the pot when it came to our elections, because Trump told them several times via tweet and in public, don't agree to the ceasefire, don't agree to the ceasefire, don't agree to the ceasefire. And he didn't, making Biden and his administration look really bad, because it was in their best interest, self-serving here, to make it look bad so they can get this clown in and dog walk him. Does that make sense? So that's all I'm going to say. So Hakeem Jeffries is on the record again saying that he will not impeach Donald Trump. Why? I think, who was that, Jen? What was the name of that guy that was the whistleblower during Trump's first term? He's always on MSNBC. He's always on the I Had It podcast. Everybody thought it was during Trump's first term, and he was in the administration. He was a whistleblower or a leaker.
Alex Vindman?
No, not Alex Vindman. Alex Vindman was the one that blew the extortion of Ukraine. This was somebody that was in Trump's cabinet that blew.
Oh, I just saw him on.
That was leaking. He was the leaker that was leaking all the information. He has a whole team working on documenting every single. It wasn't Scaramucci. Miles. There you go. Thanks, Mom. It's Miles Taylor. He has been documenting every single crime and criminal offense that this administration has been committing. Not just Trump. Everybody. So
I get it's a strategy. I don't think he actually is being truthful when he says he wouldn't. I get the 7 of Wands and the 7 of Swords. This is part of some plan that he may try to implement or is trying to implement, which is why every time a Democrat says it, they go and they shut them down type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think this may be one of those don't show your hand type of things. Because if you make them nervous, then they're going to try this, that, and the other thing. So I think he still will. I think that's part of his strategy, though.
I mean, you have to.
I agree, Johnny. He's being patient, tempering it down right now because it's kind of a Pelosi move. You know, she would never bring something to the floor if she didn't have the votes. He doesn't have the votes. He knows that. So once, the elections are complete and, they've got victory there, he totally, when they've got power over the Republicans, when he's got enough votes, he will bring it up again and impeach Trump and others in his administration. Like, it's not just Trump. It's going to be others in his administration that have been confirmed for position.
What is it? Article 2, Section 4?
Yeah,
him and the entire cabinet jettisoned?
Yeah, I mean, there could be a whole bunch of endings. So it could be some judges, Supreme Court judges, and other judges, like Jeanine Pirro. What the hell's she doing as a judge?
Getting drunk after box wine with Pete Hegseth in the makeup room in the Pentagon.
Probably holding hands with a headset while Kash Patel's girlfriend.
Oh my God, you guys! I just thought of a genius freaking plan to make us a shit ton of money. And I'm claiming rights right now, so nobody take this, or I'm suing you. Johnny, Jennie, we're gonna make a board game, okay? But like, remember how Clue was? Like, it was Colonel Mustard in the library with a candlestick, except it'll be everybody in this administration and what crimes they were committing where in the White House. So like, it'll be like Pete Hegseth and Jeanine Pirro drinking wine in the Pentagon doing makeup,
Trump in his ballroom doing shots.
RFK Jr. and his brainworm crawling under the resolute death in the library.
It'll be RFK Jr. taking a swim in a polluted creek with his grandkids.
Oh my God!
While doing shots of methylene blue.
I mean, why not? They have, how like they have the card game Cards Against Humanity. They have one about Trump against humanity. So we should make one like Clue, but it'll be like all the crimes. And it'll be ridiculous shit too. Like, I don't know, something stupid like stealing a goose off the pond or something. Like. So I get it's a lie, an abundance or a lot of support, and a woman that's in power. So strategy, it's a lie until they have an abundance of support, the majority. Okay, so
call it no clue.
No clue. No Clue Crime Edition.
The Bell End edition.
I can't. This is, oh Lord, every day it's a new nightmare. So apparently Keg's Breath is in deep shit. Again, they're reporting, not on mainstream media, independent journalists are reporting that the Pentagon is turning on Pete Keg's Breath. He's being excluded from certain meetings. There's 2 missing service members from a mission, I want to say in Morocco or whatever. There's 2 servicemen missing there. Guy has no idea what's going on. He's not being put on any of the meetings. There's been gossip about Trump eyeing him and Patel to get the boot next. So can we look at
Well, and what's funny is Trump doesn't take meetings either about things like who's giving the directives to the Pentagon. You got
it's probably Stephen Miller, Jen, or that one lady. What's her name? The freaking lady he has over there. What's her name?
Susie Wiles. I don't think she's smart enough to give stuff to the Pentagon. It's like who's doing
Donald Trump or somebody. I forget who it was. It might have been Pete Hegseth. I forget. But they congratulated, not congratulate's the wrong word, but they gave thanks to Stephen Miller for his contribution to the war in Iran.
Yeah.
I think it's Russell Vought and Stephen Miller combined. Like, yes, Trump's not directing it. He can't even keep straight on where Iran is.
No, they're
mind
lying.
Mind you, he's worse now than he was during his first term. Meaning he can't stay awake. That's why they put all those signs around, the printout signs with the gold writing. So Grandpa doesn't end up on the fucking roof of the White House again, like he did that one time, and somebody could have just boop,
Did his own little field trip.
You could have done us all a favor, God. You could have saved the world.
Get up here. Look at the view up here. Isn't this great?
That's all they had to do was just bloop. Oh, I don't know what happened. He leaned over and he fell. But during his first term, he didn't care about anything. Remember, they had to give him, his briefings were one paragraph long.
CM says, full metal jackass.
Full metal jackass. So can we ask if Pete Keg's breath is about to get jettisoned too?
Oh my God, the guy on SNL that impersonates Kash Patel is hysterical.
I can't get over all the videos of the assassination attempt. Did you see all the stories that came out after that? About the suspect? Did you see that?
I saw some of the things where
he has ties to Vance's wife. Oops. You should have gone somewhere else in central casting, you dumbasses. I just can't. So is Keg's breath about to be jettisoned?
I think it depends on how he answers some questions. I'm going to say yes, but the Seven of Wands defending Page of Swords, because he has a bunch of lies that he's been telling, like a bunch. There's the Three of Wands, so I think this is coming sooner than later. Then there's the Tower and the Three of Swords. So I'm going to say yes, something will dramatically change and he shall be separated.
When they questioned Keg's breath the last time, he couldn't even answer them how much they had spent so far on this. Something's being done in secret now. So I get change for two men that have either betrayed Trump or they're separating out. So it's probably Keg's breath and Patel. Moving forward, they might pull someone in from the past again and offer a job to them. They're also a liar. So it's not going to be any better. And it'll stir up a lot of new fights and a new chaos. So it's somebody that's worked with Trump before.
I get they're talking about ousting him. There's the goal, the achievement, a project and something secret, knowledge, and then conversations. So they're talking about ousting his ass. So at the assassination attempt, Crooked Eye over there, Kash Patel, if you've all seen the videos, apparently Central Casting didn't do a good dry run of the assassination attempt, because while everybody's out running around like the reporters that didn't know it was staged, there's people sitting at their tables eating, drinking wine. Meanwhile, there's pop, pop, pop going on outside. Kash Patel's got one eye pointing this way, the other one pointing that way, completely confused as to what's going on, you know. And then the video of, or the picture of Stephen Miller walking with his wife in front of him, his hand on her boob. He's using her as a shield. And behind the curtain, you can see Trump standing there
Which was
watching.
better than what happened with RFK Jr., who left his wife behind him.
Yeah.
Like he didn't even try to use her as a shield.
Yep. And then Trump behind the curtain watching the whole production play out. You know? So is Kash Patel about to get ousted too?
Jennie, somebody's asking in the chat if that's a black onyx on your ring.
What's that?
Somebody in the chat's asking if that's a black onyx on your ring. They like your ring.
Sapphire.
That's a sapphire. Oh, Raxy.
I know. She's over there screaming at people.
Yeah, Kash Patel can look in both directions, but can't see where his girlfriend went.
She was in a room holding hands with a different guy. That's one of the reports that came out.
Yeah.
So this clown done used up all our taxpayer money to go fly his girlfriend around, and she over there cheating on his ass.
He gets the Wheel of Fortune too. Something's changing.
You know what makes me the most mad about this whole thing is that not only are these criminals cartoonish in their stupidity, but it's how bad of a production this entire thing is. You know, like this is the type of show that they wouldn't even put on PBS. You know what I mean? Because it's that bad. It's that bad.
Kash Patel's future, yeah, he gets the Wheel of Fortune too. It's someone new coming in here. He gets judgment for security and what happened with security, and Republicans that were at this thing. So he's out. He's out from the government. Good luck with that, Patel. You got no job potential anywhere else.
And if the Democrats had a spine, as soon as they got an iota of power, bring the entire federal Justice Department down on each one of their heads. Mm-hmm.
I get he needs to go to rehab. That's all I get.
What's that, Johnie?
I just get he needs to go to rehab.
It's funny that you say that, because look at what I got. The tree, the tower, the fish. This is an action card, meaning that he moves. But if you're ready to cross, he's in the hospital for drinking or the runs.
Mm-hmm.
Or both.
Or both. He drank so much he's shitting himself and he won't stop. So he's out, you know? So apparently MAGA is starting to get kind of furious that this con man conned us. He told us we were going to have cheaper gas. It's more expensive now than when Biden was in. He told us grocery prices were going to come down. It's more expensive now than when Biden was in. He told us that, you know, we were going to be able to afford stuff. We can't even afford our electric bills now that he's in office. Like, they're starting to realize they got sold a shit sandwich at the deli. Which, look, I don't care. We tried to tell y'all. His approval rating so far is, last I checked, it was still at 34, but his disapproval rating is through the freaking roof. 70 something percent are blaming him for the higher fuel prices. 70 something
and higher groceries. His handling of the economy.
And mind you, economists are saying we haven't even started to feel the effects of the Strait of Hormuz being closed. That's delayed. It's not going to come till later. You know, because the last ship left on the 15th, I think, of last month. You know,
they just said on the news that oil is selling for over $100 a barrel now. So
last time I checked,
$5 a gallon here.
Last time I checked, it was $135 a barrel. Jen, we're over $6 here by my house. Well over $6 by my house. And Costco usually has cheaper prices, but it's still 5 something. You know, so MAGA's a little bit pissed off that the man that cosplayed a businessman but bankrupted every business he's ever had in real life somehow turned out to be a con. So
in a bad business.
Raymond's bringing up in the chat, and I had read that the other day. It's only the second time in history that our national debt is greater than the GDP.
Yep. Thank you, Trump. But hey, that's another thing that the Trump supporters are pissed off about.
We're in a recession, although they don't talk about it. We're heading for a depression.
Well, they've been covering up the job numbers for how long, Jen? Yeah, the numbers that we're getting are from independent sources.
Yeah,
they're not coming from the government. You know, so and it's not just gas prices. Medicine's going to be impacted. Medical supplies are going to be impacted. Fertilizer, helium, gas, not gas that you put in your car, but like natural gas, all of it. And we haven't even started to see any of it. So everybody's blaming him for it. And he held a press conference the other day, the one where he was doing the blowjob hands again, and saying that affordability is a fucking hoax. His words, not mine. And all that stuff.
Yeah, that went over like a lead balloon with MAGA. Affordability is a hoax. No, we go to the grocery store. We know what we're spending on groceries.
He said the gas prices are as low as they've ever been. I remember just a few months ago when gas, mind you, it's California, so we pay higher prices here. The gas by my house was $4.85. It's last time I went, it was $6.37 for the cheap 87 kind.
Yeah, I was like $3.35, and now it's $5 here.
I've seen places in Los Angeles that it's well over $8. You know, and then people are like, "Well, why don't you go somewhere else?" So you want me to drive 40 miles away to get cheaper gas? Like, doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose? You know what I mean? Like, anyways.
Thank you, Kat.
So it looks like they're starting to wake up that they just got fucking scammed, because they were still waiting on the Doge checks. They were still waiting on what was that? The stimulus checks, which, mind you, yeah, Johnny bucks. The only reason you would get a stimulus, is when the economy is fucking tanking. That's the only time you get a stimulus. So you can't sit there and say, I got a stimulus check, but the economy's doing great. Those things are diametrically opposed. So they're still waiting on their Doge. They're still waiting on the stimulus checks. Oh, and by the way, the tariffs that he promised was going to be used to pay down the deficit. Oops, you know who's getting that after you got stuck with paying higher prices? The corporations are getting that money back, not you.
He did take the tariffs off of Scottish whiskey. I'm sure Hegseth is pleased, and Kash Patel.
So they're not happy about that at all either, because these dumbasses bought that shit sandwich with a smile on their face, ate it, and asked for seconds. And now that they have indigestion, they're going, hold on, wait a minute. Where's my Doge check? Where's my stimulus package? Where's my refund from the tariffs? Why are the companies getting it and not me when I paid the higher prices? And you said that everybody else was going to pay for it, not us. But it turns out that we're paying for it. But now the people that are getting the kickback is the companies, you know? So they're kind of pissed. They're kind of really pissed off. So can we ask, how does this end up for Trump? Because that's the only thing that has kept him barely above water, is these dumbasses that will believe anything he tells them. Yeah, the gas is the cheapest it's ever been. Meanwhile, it's $27 a gallon, and you just paid $3 before he ever took office, and you're like, yep, this is the best thing ever.
The only supporting tweets you see for Trump on
Are
Twitter,
bots. Those are bots.
they're all
Those are
bots.
bots.
You don't see any real people supporting him.
Actually, I did.
Well,
That guy that's on the Daily Show that he walks around interviewing Trump supporters, the way these people talk themselves in circles just to justify their cult following is it needs to be studied, because it's insane. So where does this end up for Trump now that he's losing MAGA?
Not good, actually.
You know what else they were saying, Johnny? He promised us affordability. All he talks about is that it's a hoax, and his ballroom and his ballroom and his ballroom and his ballroom, and he won't shut up about his ballroom. Meanwhile, I can't pay my electric bill, much less groceries. It's like,
And what's worse, because I've said it, everybody said it, he is not one of you. You, at the most, would try to put some sort of addition onto your house that's functional. He wants a ballroom so he can host parties. That
to
you're
enrich
not
himself.
invited to, mind you.
To enrich himself, to
Mhm.
take bribes, to sell pieces of government off to the highest bidder.
so where does this leave Trump? Stealing and corruption getting looked into, even with his children after he dies. So his whole family, like everything's going to be looked into. And I get, Trump may be sent away, like he's done. He's toast. He may be sent away for delusions and healing. So, like I've always said, I see him going in a straitjacket all the time. They're going to find some way to isolate him. So there's a movement for change here.
Two of Pentacles, Two of Swords, cognitive dissonance, to where you hold two opposing ideas, because you know, with the Two of Swords, you know what it is that he really is all about. Now you have to pretend not to see it, because the Two of Swords comes after the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is clarity. It's truth. You heard it, you saw it, you got it, you understood it. Be a different thing if somebody told you a fact and you didn't get it, and then you thought it was opinion, or you thought they just made it up or something. You saw it, you see it, you see what he's doing and what he's not doing that he said he was going to do. Mind you, he's been president before. And so with the Two of Swords, now you are in the position where you have to pretend not to see it. You have to pretend that he is actually doing a good thing, and so forth and so forth. The Five of Wands, that conflict continues to grow. The Four of Swords and the Two of Cups, now they are going to retreat, and hopefully he proves himself, because they're going to give him, some of them are giving him basically one last chance. I'll extend my hand and see what happens. What happens? The Seven of Swords. He's still a liar. He's still a con. This leopard does not change its spots. And it ends in the Page of Wands. Watch out for the bots, and not the bots, but the Facebook posts and stuff. Now a lot of people are going to start turning against him. And this, with the Nine of Swords, this is where we start to see that Trump supporters want the soft landing thing, to where they've turned away from him and now they want to be accepted back into normal society, even though you just spent 16 years at the cult meeting.
You have to remember his highest approval rating was on immigration. He gave them permission to hate. He gave them permission to be racist.
That's right.
And now that it's all affecting their pocketbooks and everything, now they're like, oh, wait.
It's the classic idiotic mentality of he promised A, B, and C, and none of these people stop to think, what are the consequences of A, B, and C, and how are you going to get from A to B to C? You know, like when Bernie Sanders says universal health care, well, how are you going to get that? We can't afford it. Tax the shit out of the fucking rich. Boom. Simple. There's your solution. This guy, no, tax the shit out of the working class and the middle class and the poor and give it to the people on the top.
And take away their health care so they're all dying.
But hey, it's the immigrants and the gays and the transgenders that are doing all of it. So we're going to get those people out. Oh, your life still sucks? Well, we haven't.
Snoopy and his seashells.
You know, obviously we haven't deported enough people. How does this end? Not well. This is happiness and joy, the illusion, the romanticization, how he marketed himself. Big problem. Big problem. An obstacle. Well, this is all the stuff he marketed. Why isn't it happening? What's the problem? There's peace and tranquility and patience, and then conflict and growing anger. Happiness is going to be blocked, and people are going to get really fucking pissed. This here is an angry enemy.
I would love to see those January 6ers storm the White House and drag his ass out like they did, January 6th at the Capitol.
That's why he wants his ballroom. It's just, he doesn't. That's what that Miles Taylor guy said on the iHip News.
Yeah, he knows he's
building. He thinks that he's building the ballroom because he doesn't plan to leave. And it's like, well, lucky for us, Barry's about to do his job and do humanity a favor, so we won't have to worry about dragging his ass out of the freaking White House.
Putin had his palace that he could hide in. All these dictators have their places they can hide in, but they all fall.
Did you see that he's putting his freaking face on passports now? His face on passports, his signature on currency.
And his name on 12 new buildings.
His name on buildings. There was something else that he was... Oh, his face on the national park passes. The only people that do that are freaking dictators. I'm just waiting for him to say we're starting the project of putting my face on Mount Rushmore.
He's talking about that too, wanting his face on.
Well, that was his first term. That was his first term where he wanted his face on Mount Rushmore.
He's talking about it now too, and he's got Lindsey Graham talking about it.
Ay.
I mean, whatever. Go ahead. Put him up there.
We'll have something to take target practice on.
And hopefully your nose falls off like the Sphinx.
I mean, it's just, God, what a freaking clown. Like King Charles, here's a bell end, Trump, from the one submarine that failed every mission, sunk, and you're a dickhead. So there you go. In not so many words. So speaking of King Charles, when they were here, did you see how he treated that woman? I think it was King Charles's wife. I forget her name. They were walking, and she was shaking hands with people. He got in front of her, shoved her off the side, and went and shook hands with somebody from his own cabinet.
But he did that to the Queen. He walked right in front of her, which is not protocol.
Look, all I'm saying is all one person has to do is stick their foot out. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Let that fucker eat shit.
Lord,
I mean, just...
They made the biggest deal in the world when Barack Obama went to a dinner with the Queen and he picked up his glass because you're not supposed to pick up yours before she picks up hers. And then it circulated all the news. Oh, he broke protocol. He did because he was making a toast. He was making a speech. And so what we do over here is before you make the speech, you lift the glass and da 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 da. Well, you're not supposed to do that before she lifts up hers. And so they made a big deal out of it. He starts pushing dignitaries and not.
He had a group of young high school girls that were doing a dance or cheer or something on the White House lawn. It's like, yeah, that's his guy. You know, he's a pedophile. He's sitting there, yay.
I understand that people are rude. I mean, we see them if you go out in the world. You always have that one person at the grocery store or the parking lot or but as a head of state, to openly treat people like that, I just wish somebody the day before he dies punch that fucker right in the throat just one time, just because I can't. The way that it makes me so mad to see that someone brazenly treats people like that and nothing.
But that's a narcissist. They don't respect anybody. It's all about them.
And just like a narcissists are cowards. Punch them in the throat one time, and that's it. You know?
Yeah, Gina's bringing up a point. I was thinking about that this morning, Gina. What they did to Mussolini, stripped him naked and hung him, upside down in the.
Yeah, and they almost did the same thing to Gaddafi. Remember Gaddafi? They didn't strip him naked, but they beat the living piss out of him and drug him all over the streets in Libya. You know?
Saddam Hussein got cattle prodded.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to be a dictator, I hope you know how it ends for them, you know? Like, obviously he doesn't because he's not very smart, but...
There's no good endings historically for dictators.
No. So can we ask, like you were saying, Jen, we're in a recession right now. Nobody's talking about it. And I'm sorry, but we're feeling it. I don't care if Trump says the economy is great. I can see that prices are up and my paycheck hasn't gone up. People that are paying mortgage payments on their utilities because a data center moved in can tell you right now the economy is not doing fantastic.
People are putting groceries on credit cards. Everybody's credit card debt is through the roof right now.
Through the roof. The AI bubble, I swear to God, if they bail out AI companies, I'm going to riot. So can we see, will prices come down? Will we eventually get back to some semblance of affordability?
Put a timeline on it.
Well, we know it ain't happening under this fucking clown. He still thinks tariffs are the best thing, regardless of the evidence to the contrary.
Every time we have a Democrat, they are better for the economy. Biden was bringing inflation down and in line.
And here's the thing. I beat my head against the wall every single time. History and data dictates that every time there is a Republican in office, there is a recession. Every time a Democrat gets in office, the economy goes back to normal. The time frame can vary depending on how greatly the previous person destroyed the economy. Why are we allowing Republicans to still have the narrative that we're better for the economy? Because the data shows otherwise, you know? So will we get back to some semblance of affordability?
When you get a new leader, yes.
They have to get growth going again. What else are you getting, Johnny?
8 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles. So while you have Republicans, no, because something has to affect them greater than Well, never mind. I'm not even going to say that because COVID affected everybody and they didn't care about that either. You need a new leader. The King of Cups and the Two of Wands, that person brings strategy. Strategy is how you get there. Right now, the word of warning is the Death card. You have to change something, but you have to change it dramatically. The Solace is the Four of Cups. You have to also wait because right now you're not getting a new leader. Even if you get a new house, you're not getting a new leader as in president. So you need a new leader, and then things will start to make a little more sense.
There will be growth again. The first thing after a change in the government is bailouts I'm getting, and working on job growth, getting new jobs out there again. That's going to be the first thing they very quickly work on, like in the first year, getting bailouts for the companies that are suffering, which falls on the taxpayers, and getting job growth, get people back to work. Later, they'll return to other things that they had committed to. So, if that's taxing the wealthy and putting laws in place, to protect us and get our health care back and everything, they got to change people from the idea that they have to protect themselves from too much government, because all those things that we do to help people, when they're hurting, it's not a bad thing. So they got to change that mindset of, don't let government get too big.
Will we eventually get back to affordability? I'm going to go with Johnie, with somebody new, because it's circular. The ring, circular arguing and fighting and work that needs to be done. And the playbook of manipulation. And I hate to say it, but there's just enough Democrats on our side that are centrist that don't believe in FDR policies that would benefit the economy and make affordability real for most Americans. Do you see what I'm saying? So
just like you say too, with the playbook of manipulation, that COVID was the reason to continue the price rising.
Yep.
And now you could blame what, supply shortages and all of that. Now you can blame the war. You can always blame something.
Yep.
But you don't have to increase the price on everything. You want to because you can. The state of Washington right now is suing Safeway. I forget the parent company, but Albertsons/Safeway, because they're doing the buy one get one free. And what they have investigated is you raise the price on something a couple weeks before, and then when you hit the sale, you got the buy one get one free, even though they're still paying the higher price, and then you lower it again and then do it on something else in the store. So you're not getting anything for free, basically.
No.
You're paying a higher price, and they just charge you for two, but you only bought one.
It's a manipulative tactic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think capitalism in general, the way that it operates here in America, needs to be severely restrained, because it's dog eat dog out here. Why should healthcare be tied to employment? We talked about this during COVID. Nobody could work. People that were non-essential work, people that worked at grocery stores and all that sort of stuff, retail of any form, was out of work. And guess what? You no longer have health care, because employment is tied to health care in this country. And it's all one big effing scam, So
49% of Americans 65 plus have zero retirement saved up.
Zero retirement.
So I take this back to like 2008. I'm getting really on my feet financially and everything. Massive layoffs when the market crashed under Bush, under Republicans. Obama took him 2 turns to really kind of turn the economy around and everything. But in the meantime, my savings were shot. I was out of work for 16 months.
Mhm.
You don't recover from that overnight. So yeah, 49% of people 65 plus in this country, their only lifeline is Social Security.
And
I
they
get
want
it.
to, and they want to gut that too. And then they're
Yep.
trying to sell people the idea of, well, you can also get a 401k. Well, your 401k is tied to the stock market. So if that tanks, bye-bye retirement. You know,
Well, and
like,
with the inflation the way it is, like when you start adding up what your cost of living is now, most of the people who were planning on retiring at 60, like I won't be retiring at 65. I'll be in my 70s by the time I retire because my Social Security is not going to cover enough.
and here's the thing, the difference between you not being able to retire at your age versus a lawmaker in Capitol Hill is that you're a regular American. Those sons of bitches are multimillionaires.
Mhm.
Multi-millionaires.
Made themselves multimillionaires.
There you
'Cause
go,
they only
Johnny.
make $100,000 a year, and
You
yet
go in
live
there,
Washington with millions of dollars.
look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. Served how many terms in the Congress? Walked away $25 million richer, thanks to U.S. taxpayer dollars. Okay, so it's like if you give everybody the opportunity to live like that, then yeah, we're not
The
going to
number
have.
one cause of bankruptcy in the U.S. is healthcare bills.
Yep. Yep. And it's pretty sad, you know. I mean, Lord forbid something terrible happens, like you get a cancer diagnosis or something like that, which it's not cheap. Any type of healthcare is not cheap, much less something that's life-threatening.
Blood pressure medicine, it isn't cheap anymore.
Yeah.
Or
So can we ask if we will see the end of price gouging? And I saw that Washington too just passed that millionaires tax where they're going to start taxing millionaires more.
I think you will see not the end of price gouging, but the transformation of it's not it's still price gouging, they'll call it something else. And it'll look a little different. The hangman and the nine of swords. So price gouging right now is happening on gasoline. You don't have to charge as much you want to, $100 a barrel, blah, 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 but you still don't have to charge people $8 for gas because you didn't pay that much, and so forth and so forth. Joe Biden put things in place, which of course are now gone, to combat price gouging. So there's going to be something put into place. I think, again, this happens with a new leader of some sort, but you go back to the way it was, nostalgia in America. But the devil and the knight of wands, it still goes on. It just doesn't look the way it does right now. So you may not have it be as blatant as it is right now, but let's say, for instance, instead of just plain old gas, you have gas and a service fee or something like that. They'll get it on the back end some way, somehow.
Kind of like when you go to the gas station and you pay with a debit card, 35 cents. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
It's got a something else with it, to where you can bring the price from $8 to $6.50, but then you put something else with it.
Yeah, it's how retail is structured too. That I worked in retail over 40 years. Year after year after year, unreasonable goals they give to their people to keep improving profitability every year. Well, at some point, if you break even, you're doing good. Like, how do you keep growing profitability? At some point, you hit a plateau. You can't grow it anymore.
Exactly.
price gouging helps them get all this profit again. So they will continue to burden price gouging until something structurally is done, until there's a leader that puts some laws in effect to constrict the price gouging, until there's somebody that knows how to do this. It's their way of manipulating all of the money they get. So, tariffs are going to change the international stuff. If we start importing again without having all the tariffs and stuff, would they pass that along to consumers? Probably not.
No,
because they're happy to get all that extra profit.
how are they going to?
There has to be legal change, something new legally that is done in the government to constrict this industry.
And this is what I don't understand. On what planet did MAGA even entertain the idea that they were going to get money back from the terrorists? Like, are you keeping a receipt for every single item you purchased since tariffs went into place so that you can take it to an accountant and add it all up and then expect a $15,000 check?
I want to share a story. 2008, I was working at QVC when the market crashed. 3,000 people laid off in one day. Turned around in November of 2008. January, they turned around and gave the new CEO a multi-million-dollar bonus.
Yeah.
Okay, so all the people that they could have kept employed, whatever. Well, now they're filing bankruptcy, and they don't know if they're going to come out of it or not. The government authorized them, go buy Home Shopping Network. So they merged with Home Shopping Network, and they got bigger and everything. But they mishandled the funds, and now they're filing bankruptcy, and they don't know if they're going to be able to come out of it. But I guarantee you, all those stockholders are making money hands over fist.
A shit ton of money. I was just talking to Stephanie about that a couple days ago. I said, Stephanie, explain this to me like I'm a moron with like a brain just like Trump's. Draw me pictures if you have to. How is it that a company can lay off thousands of employees like we've been seeing left and right over here since Trump got into office? Okay, thousands of employees everywhere being laid off. The CEO runs the company into the ground and then gets a $26 million bonus. For what? For destroying the company?
Little Eddie Lampert over here at Sears, where I was working before I got out of retail and started doing readings full time. Steve Mnuchin's college roommate, he was there at Mnuchin's confirmation hearings, ran Sears Kmart in the ground, spun off all the good real estate into a separate LLC, was sued by the board, but he still had spun it all off. It's still unresolved in the courts, I think. But he was basically raping and pillaging the company and making all this money on running it in the ground. He had no intention of turning that company around.
Yep. And meanwhile, the labor, meaning the workers are left holding the bag along with the government, because now they become the burden of the government. And here's the thing. If you work a regular job, you can look at your pay stub and you can see that you contribute, part of your paycheck goes to unemployment insurance. So when you get the privilege of being handed a pink slip while the CEO is getting a $26 million check, you can thank yourself for paying yourself to get fired.
But they limit you on how long you can draw unemployment and the dollar amount of it. Like it varies by state. So like when I was in Tennessee, you'd be lucky if you got $200 a week, versus when I was in Pennsylvania at QVC, it was like $500 a week. Neither one of them would cover rent or a mortgage or anything else. QVC or Eddie Lampert, the day I was laid off from there, I think there were 5,000 people laid off. Yeah.
And I was just talking to a friend. I'm not going to say her name again. We were talking about the same thing because she's in sales. And I, just like you, Jennie, in sales. And I said that idea of constantly being profitable is completely unrealistic. How do you expect to get more clients and more money and more sell shit when people can't afford to put fucking gas in their tank, to take their asses to work, to get a paycheck, to put food on the table and pay the mortgage? Do you think they're worried about, oh, I'm going to, I don't know, upgrade my kitchen cabinets this year? Not when you're sitting there looking at your bills getting higher and your paycheck staying the same. You're not, you know?
For this year, it keeps coming up in personal readings. I keep telling people, hunker down. The economy is not going to improve this year. You know, hunker down, watch your spending, be responsible, you know, try to avoid going out and splurging on things that you can wait on. You know, if your car can make it another year, make it another year, you know.
I get the key to cross the moon. It's going to be very, 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 very difficult. And it's going to take a significant amount of propaganda to say we need to stop with the freaking price gouging shit. Because we see this every year. The Democrats get into office, they pass a bunch of bills to stop this shit. As soon as a Republican gets in, rip it up, start over from square one. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like you make one step forward to take 15 back every time there is a change in power, because there's no interest in working together for the American people when it comes to lawmakers. It's these are my constituents versus these are my donors. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, what's her name? Elizabeth Warren, with all the stuff that she had. As soon as Trump got into office, he ripped it to shreds. You know, consumer protections and all that stuff. And then Biden got into office and they passed some more stuff for consumer protections. What happens? Trump gets back into office and Elon Musk and his Doge bros took a sledgehammer to everything. Illegally, by the way. You know?
And meanwhile, all these AI companies and cryptocurrencies are cross-investing, circular investing in each other to keep them afloat because there's a bubble. Yep. Wait till that bubble pops.
And that's why I said
the economy is like.
And that's why I said, Jen, I will be rioting if these bastards not only laid off millions of people across the board to make a few extra $1 million themselves, money that they will never spend, and crash the global economy, and then we're going to be on the hook to bail them out. Fuck you. If anything, you should all be arrested. All of your assets should be liquidated and given back to the people because we took it in the ass so hard for you. You know? So, sorry to go on that rant, but
can we look at one thing? Because, you know, the Supreme Court just killed voting rights, right? And we already have Louisiana where they stopped mid-election, so they could go gerrymander the crap out of it. Tennessee is on board to gerrymander the crap out of their maps and try to get rid of Democrat districts. Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon in the red states. I think there's so many people pissed now at Trump and the economy and what we're facing, everything we've just been talking about. I don't think gerrymandering the maps is going to help them. I think people are going to vote too big to rig predominantly still. So will changing the maps, will we still see Dems taking the House and the Senate? Will gerrymandering the maps affect voting? Because they did that, you know, in Texas, and it actually ended up hurting them, the Republicans.
I don't think it doesn't create stability to their little plan. The Hierophant and the Knight of Wands, it's still under pressure. They are up against those on the other side, sort of coming together. Lover's card, Two of Pentacles. With the Two of Pentacles, it's one of those things where that they're going to make it hard. That should be your motivation, because no one is making it harder for you to do the things that benefit them. They're trying to make it harder for you to do the things that would not benefit them. If you went out, because this country is blue as a country, it's a lot more progressive, the blah, 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 you know how we think. It's a lot more of us than it is of them, and they know that, which is why they don't want you to vote, which is why they move your polling stations 50 miles away from where you live, and so forth and so forth. And so if they're going to make it harder, that means you have to try harder to do it. People literally fought and died so that you could, so give it a shot.
I don't ever want to hear one person ever sing the praises of John Roberts. That man has been a piece of shit from the day he was appointed into the Supreme Court. I don't know why people put him on a pedestal as if he's, the patron saint of justice. That man is the biggest political hack on that entire goddamn court. He's a shit.
See, I'm getting the Democrats still win. Yes, when it's all said and done, because a lot of people have left the parties, Republican Party, and they're looking at things differently. So it's big voter turnout. I'm getting huge voter turnout. Young people, big voter turnout. No one accepting what's going on. So even if they try to fight this in the courts, nobody's having it. Nobody's having it. So, I get the Dems secure the House and Senate. I don't, gerrymander away. I don't think it'll change the outcome.
I kept the question simple. I asked if the Dems would win the House and Senate. Yes. Hart, Anchor, Fox. They're going to be passionate about focusing on the work that needs to be done and focusing on the tactics and the manipulations that they're facing. But you reach the goal by being crafty. Do you see what I'm saying? If they're crafty enough, but I get a yes. I get a yes. And that's, it's the freaking Republican playbook. If we can't win, we change the rules, regardless of who we disenfranchise, because we don't work for the people anyways. So going back to the Supreme Court, since I am so sick and tired of this bullshit with John Roberts and I Like Beer and the Handmaid's Tale over there, and that court needs to be reformed. Jennie was telling me that there was a letter or something put in to disbar.
There's an investigation going on with Roberts because of all the money his wife took in that he hadn't reported. So he could be disbarred, which means he can't be a Supreme Court justice anymore.
He's a piece of shit.
There's an investigation going on.
And so what I want to know is, will there be reform in the Supreme Court? Because to this day, nobody knows who paid I Like Beer's stuff off. Nobody, we all know of all the stuff that Clarence Thomas, Uncle Tom, accidentally failed to report on all the multi-million-dollar bribes he got. Okay. Nobody talks about the corruption of Alito. The Handmaid's Tale over there is more concerned about reading the Bible and believing bullshit than actually doing her goddamn job. Roberts is a piece of shit, and Gorsuch is another piece of shit. So I want to know, will there be reform on the Supreme Court? Because it's completely out of control. Completely. They're just making shit up. They're just making shit up.
Yeah, there's no precedence unless you go back to the 1500s witch trials or something.
It takes some sort of committee here, but this is a long ways away. I got the Moon and the Page of Swords first, which would say no, but it's more like once you clear the obstacles, once you get rid of the illusions and put some checks and balances into place, the Six of Wands and the Eight of Cups, when you get a new leader as well, or not leader, but leaderships, in there, then the 2 of Cups and the 8 of Pentacles, then you can work on trying to perfect something or get some sort of reform into place. But right now, no, but there is some sort of committee that would look into doing such a thing. You need a progressive government, though.
Here's the thing: did they not read the room and realize that Uncle Tom over there is a black man? So when they gutted the voting, well, I mean, not that they care because he votes with them anyway. So it's not like they're worried about Clarence Thomas voting for a Democrat. You know,
it's going to be chaotic for a little bit, but I get when a Democrat gets in, that will be like a big priority, and we will see changes with the Supreme Court. What I'm getting, what do they call it when all the federal judges that have to report their earnings and where their money comes from?
Yeah.
But what do they call that? The Supreme Court doesn't.
I know what you're talking about, the disclosures, but I don't remember the name of the form.
Well, checks and balance, monitoring that, right? Ethics clauses and stuff. That's what I'm getting, that they'll move in to put ethics clauses into place to figure out, oh, look, where did all that money come from, or all those gifts come from? So how they structure it, they're going to put some kind of ethics clauses on the Supreme Court right away.
Ethics is bullshit, though, because who's going to enforce it? You can't depend on the House and the Senate because that changes every few years.
Yeah, but that will give them standing for impeaching and getting rid of and changing the structure of the court
every few years. And despite everything, despite the questioning Clarence Thomas was under, he thumbed his nose like, fuck you, I do whatever the hell I want.
Yep.
They have no respect at all. I get that there's perhaps some sort of committee in the House or something, or perhaps when there's a new executive at the House, because this is abusing authority. So here's the House, the land. So the House is in the House of Representatives or the White House, and executive and resources, power and abuse. So to Johnny's point, not anytime soon, but it's a blatant abuse of power because they're just making shit up. Just the abortion stuff, that was the easiest way that they can finagle it because they just kicked it back to the states and let the states do whatever they want. Well, now we see the consequences of that. Everything else has been, and not just that, how they're doing everything on the shadow docket. They're abusing power by just doing everything on the shadow docket. So I think it's going to be looked at more about who's financing you, how are you abusing bribes, and abusing your power. So that's how I see it. But not anytime soon. This is something that takes
bribes is putting ethics in place on the Supreme Court. You got to start somewhere, and then when it leaks out, oh, Clarence Thomas got the Winnebago and what else? All the gifts he's gotten. Then you got grounds for impeachment. Boom, gone. Replace him.
Yeah,
it has to start somewhere.
But then again, with all that stuff that was happening, and it was Sherrod Brown that was looking into him, or the other guy? He's still in the Senate.
Yeah, it's Sherrod.
He didn't give a fuck. Clarence Thomas pretty much looked at him and said, what the fuck are you going to do?
Because the Republicans are in power right now, and he knows nothing's going to happen to him.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I think it needs to be something stronger than ethics.
Well, you put
something way stronger than ethics.
Put ethics there, which is a start. And when Democrats are in power, start impeaching these guys over ethics, we don't see the Democrats taking all this money and gifts, right? So they're going to stay there.
Well, oh, you mean the Supreme Court justices?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was going to say, because there's plenty of Democrats in the House and in the Senate that are happy to insider trade.
It was on the Republican side, so at least start cleaning house somewhere. And when Republicans are in power, they won't have anything to impeach a Democratic person for, because they're not doing all the extra ethics crimes.
It's ridiculous. And not just Not just impeach them. If they committed criminal offenses, indict them too. You don't get a here you go, slap on the hand, you're off the seat. No, we're gonna fucking indict your ass too. You know, make an example out of them so the next person that has the privilege of sitting on the Supreme Court as a justice knows better than to fuck around and find out.
Put term limits on them.
So
force turning the court, you know, put term limits on them.
I saw somebody, one last question, and I didn't catch the name. Somebody had made a super chat that said that Trump had been rushed to the hospital.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that.
Breaking. Trump rushed away for medical emergency, according to Parker. Get a job on now. I don't know. Hopefully Barry broke free, man. And another thing, for all the MAGA bastards out there, don't you dare participate in Cinco de Mayo if you hate immigrants so much. You don't get to eat no tacos or queso or burritos or arroz con pollo or any of that stuff. Go to your Cracker Barrel and eat your biscuits and gravy.
I don't see any breaking news on Trump's health. So yeah, be careful of the sources.
Yeah.
I don't see breaking news, and I actually have the news on.
I mean, we're all just waiting for the day that he just drops dead. Like, Johnny's gonna get drunk, Jen's gonna get drunk, I'm gonna get drunk, Braxton's gonna fucking get drunk. We're all gonna be drunk.
We're all gonna be headsets for a day.
You know? I mean, I can't with this no more. Well, thanks everybody for hanging out. We'll see you. We'll be on Johnny's channel next week. So hope to see you there. And peace out. Don't pay too much attention, you know, to all the horrible stuff like Johnny says, you know, that feels overwhelming. Go do something that takes your mind off of it. Read a book. Get a voodoo doll and stab it. Get some Cheetos and smash it with a rock. Curse somebody. Curse the administration. It'll make you feel better. So hope you all have a good one, and we'll see you next week on Johnny's. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.